So today we're going to look at making a final part of the campaign map with finances and things like that. So Galen here, if you like the videos and you're interested in wargaming, or you've got Parkinson's and just trying to get by in life, subscribe. I've got only about 10% of people who watch me subscribe. And I don't know, I'd like subscribers. I'm not trying to get money or anything. I just would like to know I'm not talking to myself, I think. Although I know I'm not talking to myself because there are some subscribers, so thank you. So this is the map under the book is an ancient map of Britain. It's an OS map from 1966 I found on eBay. And this book here is sort of a doomsday book that we made for a Japanese game. So every square on the map has got an appropriate page in here. So I thought I'd just show you how we get to this. So first of all, I want to decide what year it is. I've been using this book, this AD 500, and it's brilliant. I think I mentioned it a while ago. It's like a sort of tourist guide to the Dark Ages. Fantastic. So I know that we're looking at about 500 AD. I don't want to be exactly 500 AD, that'd be boring. So I'm going to throw these two dice, percentage dice. So it's going to be 575. There you go. Very professional. So 575 is the year. I'm going to move this across here. Show you a few of the things we've been doing. So our game starts in 575. So the first thing I did was a key to the map, and it's just one I've made up. So I'm not saying it has to be like this. This isn't one I bought or anything, or it's not in the game. But I've just said like a small dwelling. It's got a taxable value of 1. Hamlet's got a taxable value of 2. A walled city, a bridge. And then I've multiplied the taxable value by 4 to give me how much it costs to build it. So if you want to build a town, it would cost you 16, and I'm going to call them gold pieces. And then turn it over again. I've got tax rate. So I'm going to say you throw a d6. If you get if your tax rate's 10%, so you need to get 1 or less, well, you're going to get it. So if the tax rate's 10%, there's never going to be any unrest. If the king, that's not you, that in my case that's Arthur, has to raise tax rate to 20%, then I have to throw, if I got a 1, that would be unrest because it's less than 2. If he raised it to 50%, I'd have to get 5 or more. So I'd have to throw a 5 or 6. 60%, I've got to get a 6. And if he raises it to 70%, I am definitely going to revolt. The way you do the revolt in my game is first time anybody revolts, you lose 1 unit of militia. So they go from your warband and become rebels, outlaws, whatever. And you've got to deal with them. You have to defeat them, really. The trouble with that is, if there's a battle or a war and you are called upon by your king to send your army, you've suddenly not got 3 militia units, you've only got 2. But the king demands 3. That's part of the rule of the game. So you've then got to spend some of your money hiring militia. If you don't deal with the problem by defeating that militia, in the second month, it becomes 2 militia, and then 3 militia. And then after 3 militia, you start to get warrior units joining. So your army falls apart. This is my income. So I start the game with 200. I have a taxable income of 216 because when I look at my land, it earns 16 gold pieces with farms and bits and bobs. So then I've got 216, but my militia cost me 18. They're 1 point each, 1 gold piece each, and there's 3 lots of 6 of them, so that's 18. So they cost me 18. The warriors are 2 gold pieces each, and there's 12 of them. And the elite are 4 gold pieces each, and there's 6 of them. That leaves me with 150 gold pieces. Arthur has imposed a tax rate of 20%, which is 30 gold pieces, which now leaves me with 120 gold pieces. So 1 gold piece equals 10 silver pieces, 1 silver piece equals 10 bronze pieces, and a bronze piece is a bit like a penny. It's the lowest currency. Now, the problem with that for me is I've only earned a fraction of what I'm going to need next year on taxes, because I've spent a lot more than the 16 that's come in. So I've got options now. What I can do is hope I earn it through wars and raids and plunder. I'm not really in that position as a Knight of the Round Table, unless I defeat Saxons and get some sort of reward from Arthur for that. It's a bit uncertain, but I do have 120 gold pieces left. So if I go back to the beginning and I look at the bottom here, a monastery costs 20. Now, if I multiply that by 4, that's the tax it brings in every year. So if I multiply that by 4, it's going to cost me 80 gold pieces to build a monastery, but it's going to give me 20 gold pieces every single year. But that's going to bring my income now up to 96. So that's a balance. The problem being, if I do that, I start to spend money I've got in reserve, and there's a long year ahead, because you only tax at the beginning of a new campaign year in the game. You can't tax at any other time, and Arthur might raise the tax rate. I might lose men in battle. I could lose territory. There's all sorts of imponderables. So there's a balance between having money and having resources. The other thing is you can only spend your money now at the beginning of the campaign. I can't suddenly decide in August, when I'm losing the war, that I need a monastery. I have to do it now, or I have to wait till January of the next year, 586. So they're decisions you've got to start making as the campaign unravels. So that's pretty much how I set up a campaign. It's not perfect, it's not the only way, but it's my way, and if it helps, I hope it does some good. Okay, I'll just leave you looking at that. See you later. Bye.